Blake Lively is being called the new Amber Heard by so many fans. And this is because Blake Lively has a reputation right now for being a mean girl. And she, just like Amber Heard, has brought claims against a man for doing things to her without her consent and with ill intent. The big difference, though, is that it appears that Blake Lively has a ton of evidence that appears to completely support her claims against Justin Baldoni.
A chorus of support is growing behind actress Blake Lively against Justice Baldoni.
In Amber Heard's case, she barely even had a case against Johnny Depp, let's be real. It's no surprise though that Justin Baldoni has a much more positive public image, similar to how Johnny Depp did when compared to Amber Heard during his case, but this might soon change in the case of Blake Lively. Her reputation might actually skyrocket and improve from here. But speaking of Amber Heard, by the way, Amber Heard herself, she had spoken out after hearing about these claims that Blake Lively brought up against Justin Baldoni.
Well, Amber Heard has spoken out in defense of Blake Lively, who has accused co-star Justin Baldoni.
And Blake Lively, by the way, says that Justin Baldoni tried to ruin her reputation purposely by spreading rumors about her. And get this, Justin Baldoni allegedly hired the same PR person that Johnny Depp, Amber Heard's ex-husband, used during their whole messy situation. But getting back to what Amber Heard was saying, this is what she says, because Blake Lively's situation really struck home with her. But check it out. Here's what she says. Social media is the absolute personification of the classic saying, a lie travels halfway around the world before the truth can get its boots on. I saw this firsthand and up close. It's as horrifying as it is destructive. If you don't remember, back in June of 2022, a jury decided that Amber Heard had actually defamed Johnny Depp, and he was given $15 million in damages, whereas Amber got $2 million in her counterclaim. Now, after the verdict, Amber Heard said it was a step back to a time when women who spoke up could be publicly embarrassed, and she definitely was criticized a lot online during her whole trial and drama with Johnny Depp. And at the time, she had told NBC News in June of 2022 that social media backlash that she was receiving was completely unfair. And Amber Heard now, she left America and she lives in Spain with her daughter, who's 3 years old at the time of recording this video. And now she's actually expecting her second child. Now, getting back to Blake Lively, for her situation, she shares 4 children with her husband, Ryan Reynolds, and she claims that Justin Baldoni showed her adult-natured videos and images of women and asked about how much she weighed while filming their movie based on Colleen Hoover's 2016 book, It Ends With Us. There's so many other things. We'll definitely have to dive into that in a separate video. But Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively's husband, apparently went to the meeting about Justin Baldoni's behavior. And Blake Lively said that Justin Baldoni used his crisis PR management team to change the story about their alleged on-set feud through social manipulation. And Justin Baldoni, of course, denies everything completely, calling the accusations shameful and totally false. He was later dropped by his talent agency as well. The attorney Brian Friedman, who released the following statement, and he represents Justin Baldoni, says, TAG PR operated as any other crisis management firm would when hired by a client experiencing threats by 2 extremely powerful people with unlimited resources. The standard scenario planning TAG PR drafted proved unnecessary as audience found Lively's own actions, interviews, and marketing during the promotional tour distasteful and responded organically to that which the media themselves picked up on. It's ironic that the New York Times, through their effort to uncover an insidious PR effort, played directly into the hands of Lively's own dubious PR tactics by publishing leaked personal text exchanges that lack critical context, the very same tactics she accuses the firm of implementing. So pretty much in Justin Baldoni's defense, his PR team is saying that, hey, Blake Lively, she's doing the same thing. Why is she leaking, this personal information and all these texts? And context is lacking here. So she's literally doing to Justin Baldoni what she's accusing him of doing to her. So guys, this is definitely looking worse now for Justin than it is for Blake, because we've seen all through 2024 how Blake Lively's popularity and likability plummeted. And it looks like she does have a case though in this case. And it looks like she was right all along, at least according to what the leaked texts say. It looks like his PR team was bragging about doing a good job in hurting her image. But yeah, I guess we just have to wait and see. And one other thing I wanted to mention is that saying that Blake Lively is the new Amber Heard, well, that's yet to be determined. It looks like she does have a strong case in this one. And I have a feeling that this Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni drama is gonna get very, very messy.
These who support Blake Lively against Justin Baldoni are pretty surprising. From Amber Heard to Amy Schumer, plenty of Hollywood mainstays are lining up in support of Blake.
Lively's famous friends and family now showing support, including her Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants co-stars.
The It Ends With Us drama is back and headed to court.
We take it very, very seriously.
Amber Heard, no stranger to high-profile legal stuff, has publicly expressed her support for Blake Lively amid the It Ends With Us lawsuit against Justin Baldoni.
Amber Heard is coming to Blake Lively's defense after the Gossip Girl alum filed a legal complaint against Justin Baldoni.
After news broke that Baldoni had hired the same PR team that worked with Johnny Depp during his infamous feud with Amber Heard spoke out in a statement to NBC News on December 23rd, 2024. Social media is the absolute personification of the classic saying, a lie travels halfway around the world before truth can get its boots on. Amber wrote, I saw this firsthand and up close. It's as horrifying as it is destructive.
As she tells, I saw this firsthand and up close. It's as horrifying as it is destructive.
Amber's words reflect her own experience during the tumultuous defamation trial with her ex-husband, Johnny Depp, who in 2022 won a defamation suit against her and was awarded $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages. The trial dominated headlines and social media, with Amber Heard enduring an intense wave of public scrutiny and online backlash, as you all know, I'm sure. Whitney Cummings. Whitney Cummings didn't just pick a side in the Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni drama, she unleashed a full-scale roast on TikTok, holding nothing back. In her scathing takedown, Whitney called out Justin for allegedly using his public persona as a feminist ally to cover questionable behavior. I don't like when guys, especially symmetrical ones, try to get points for being like a feminist or like an ally, Whitney quipped at the start of the video. When guys fight for women's rights, it's how they get to bed. The comedian's biting humor didn't stop there. She accused Justin of embodying what she dubbed big charity energy, insinuating that his visible support for various causes might be more about appearances than genuine commitment. Whitney even took a jab at Justin's work as an author, mocking his young adult self-help book, Boys Will Be Human, a get-real, gut-check guide to becoming the strongest, kindest, bravest person you can be. What a mouthful for a book. This is like a sociopath's idea of what the world needs, she said with a straight face while holding up a photo of the book. Whitney wrapped up her takedown by imagining Justin's future apology, predicting he'd blame it all on internalized misogyny, being too sensitive, and being in ketosis. Her sharp wit and no-holds-barred approach resonated with fans, many of whom praised her for tackling a serious issue with her signature comedic flair. Gwyneth Paltrow may not have made a grand statement, but her subtle show of support for Blake Lively spoke volumes. Shortly after the lawsuit made headlines, Gwyneth shared Blake's Blake Brown hair care brand on her Instagram stories, writing, "Just added to my Christmas wish list," on December 20th. While some might brush this off as a simple product endorsement, fans were quick to connect the dots. The timing of the post was no coincidence, with many interpreting it as Gwyneth's quiet way of standing with Blake amidst the storm. Gwyneth Paltrow has long been a champion of women in Hollywood, and this thoughtful gesture didn't go unnoticed. Colleen Hoover. Colleen Hoover, author of the It Ends With Us novel, was the first major name to publicly support Blake. On December 21st, Colleen posted a heartfelt message to Instagram stories. "Blake Lively, you have been nothing but honest, kind, supportive, and patient since the day we met. Thank you for being exactly the human that you are. Never change, never wilt. But Colleen didn't stop there. Just one day later, she reposted a powerful statement from Blake's Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants co-stars, adding her own lengthy caption to express her admiration for Blake's strength. Blake herself acknowledged Colleen's unwavering support by liking the post. As the author behind the story at the center of this legal firestorm, Colleen's vocal backing of Blake carries a lot of weight and shows just how much respect she has for the actress. Robin Lively. Blake's older sister, Robin Lively, has always been one of her fiercest advocates, and this time was no different. On December 21st, Robin took to Instagram to demand justice for her sister, sharing a link to the New York Times article detailing Blake's accusations against Justin Baldoni. Robin's message was a clear and resounding call for accountability, and fans were quick to rally behind her. As a fellow actress, Robin knows all too well the challenges women face in the industry, and her outspoken support for Blake proves that family will always come first. Bart Johnson. Bart Johnson, Robin's husband and Blake's brother-in-law, didn't hold back when it came to defending Blake. On December 21st, Bart took to Instagram to comment on the New York Times post about the lawsuit, writing, "Her complaints were filed during the filming, on record long before the public conflict. The cast unfollowed him for a reason." Bart didn't sugarcoat his feelings about Justin, referring to him as a fraud in a second post shared on X, formerly Twitter, on December 23rd. "He puts on the costume of a hero, man bun and all," Bart wrote, slamming Justin's Man Enough podcast as theater full of faux humility. In his Instagram comments, Bart also clapped back at critics of Blake, calling out the hypocrisy of judging her for a few bad moments in interviews while ignoring her decades of hard work and success. His unwavering defense of Blake showed just how deep the family loyalty runs. The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants cast. Blake's Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants co-stars America Ferrera, Amber Tamblyn, and Alexis Bledel proved that sisterhood isn't just for the screen. In a joint statement shared on December 22nd, the trio stood firmly behind Blake. As Blake's friends and sisters for over 20 years, we stand with her in solidarity as she fights back against the reported campaign waged to ruin her reputation, they wrote. The actresses highlighted Blake's courage in asking for a safe workplace and condemned the alleged efforts to discredit her voice. They also called out the exploitation of survivors' stories, which they described as astounding hypocrisy. Their statement ended with an encouragement to fans to read Blake's full complaint, showing just how seriously they're taking this issue. Amy Schumer. Comedian Amy Schumer wasted no time showing her support for Blake. On December 22nd, Amy posted a simple yet powerful message on her Instagram stories. "I believe Blake." Though brief, Amy's statement resonated with her followers, many of whom praised her for taking a clear and public stance. Known for her advocacy for women in Hollywood, Amy's backing of Blake was a natural extension of her commitment to standing up against injustice. Brandon Sklenar. Brandon Sklenar, who starred alongside Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni in It Ends With Us as Atlas, didn't hold back in showing his support for Blake. On December 23rd, the actor shared the New York Times article detailing Blake's lawsuit via Instagram, urging his followers to read her full complaint. "For the love of God, read this," Brandon wrote, tagging Blake and adding a red heart emoji to show his solidarity. Fans of the film took notice, with many praising Brandon for standing with Blake so openly. As someone who worked closely with both leads, his decision to publicly take Blake's side speaks volumes about the dynamics behind the scenes. Michelle Morrone. Italian actor Michelle Morrone made waves when he posted an emotional video on Instagram on December 23rd to defend Blake. "It's usually not my thing to make those kinds of videos, but I think it's time to stand up for a person I really love, and this person is Blake Lively," Michelle shared. He revealed that he met Blake while working on A Simple Favor 2, and even during their time together, he could sense something wasn't right. "I felt something was wrong, and I felt the pain," Michelle said, adding that the two had meaningful conversations while filming. The actor also expressed his frustration over the cruel and bad comments being directed at Blake, saying he was really tired of the negativity surrounding her.
"I personally met Blake during A Simple Favor 2. We shot this incredible film together, and I felt something was wrong."
Michelle's heartfelt video struck a chord with fans, many of whom commended him for speaking out so passionately. Jenny Slate. Jenny Slate, who appeared in It Ends With Us as Baldoni's on-screen sister, released a powerful statement on Today.com on December 23rd, voicing her support for Blake. "As Blake Lively's castmate and friend, I voice my support as she takes action against those reported to have planned and carried out an attack on her reputation," Jenny stated. "Blake is a leader, loyal friend, and a trusted source of emotional support for me and so many who know and love her." Jenny didn't mince words when describing the allegations against Justin Baldoni. "What has been revealed about the movement on Blake is terribly dark and disturbing, she said. I commend my friend, I admire her bravery, and I stand by her side. Jenny's support is particularly significant given her close involvement with the project. Her public backing of Blake reinforces the idea that tensions behind the scenes were deeper than anyone initially realized. Things Justin Baldoni did to Blake Lively. Adding scenes. According to Blake Lively's lawsuit, concerns about Justin Baldoni's creative decisions arose even before filming for It Ends With Us began. Blake strongly opposed his proposed addition of scenes, describing them as unnecessary. The legal documents included a specific request to halt further attempts to add elements to the film. This included a stipulation that no new scenes, depictions of certain acts, or on-camera completions involving Blake would be introduced beyond what had been approved when she initially signed on to the project. Blake also alleged that Justin initiated unwanted physical contact during their scenes. This included discussions of his own life and instances where consent may not have been respected. The lawsuit describes how Justin introduced physical aspects that had not been rehearsed, choreographed, or discussed with her in advance. For example, during one scene, Justin reportedly bit and sucked on Blake's lower lip and improvised multiple smooches during each take. And that just gives me shivers all over thinking about it. Furthermore, he allegedly insisted on repeating the scene far more times than what would be typically required on a professional set, doing so without prior notice or her consent. Another incident involved Justin pressuring Blake to remove portions of her costume for a childbirth scene. He allegedly told her it was unrealistic for her character to remain that dressed up during labor, citing personal anecdotes about his wife doing the same during childbirth. Although Blake disagreed, she claims she ultimately felt forced to compromise by appearing that way for the scene. This dude needs serious help and probably a cell somewhere. His habits and other behavior. Blake Lively's lawsuit also highlights instances of Justin's remarks and behaviors on set. A meeting was reportedly held in January 2024 to address her mounting concerns about the production. Her husband, Ryan Reynolds, attended alongside her to ensure her demands were addressed. Among the conditions discussed were requests to stop showing Blake weird videos or weird images of women to avoid mentioning Justin's alleged habits, and to cease conversations about conquests in front of Blake and the casting crew. Additional boundaries included avoiding comments about Blake's size and refraining from bringing up personal topics such as her father. Blake claims that the film's producer, Jamie Heath, also engaged in weirdo conduct. According to her, Heath once entered her trailer and watched her while her body makeup was being removed, despite her clear request for privacy. Both Justin and Heath allegedly entered her makeup trailer at other times while she was feeding her baby or not ready to be looked at, further adding to her woes. In response to Blake's complaints, the production company Wayfarer agreed to implement new safety measures. They issued a statement affirming their commitment to maintaining a secure work environment, even while noting differences in their perspectives during the incidents. Blake later acknowledged that the implementation of these changes had led to some improvement in on-set behavior by the spring. Breaking character during filming. Another claim in the lawsuit involves an incident during a rooftop dance scene. While filming, Justin allegedly broke character to engage in behavior that Blake found strange. According to the lawsuit, he leaned forward and dragged his lips from her ear to her neck, commenting on how she smelled. This interaction was reportedly unscripted and had no connection to the scene or dialogue being filmed. The legal documents describe it as a personal gesture rather than an in-character action. When Blake objected to this behavior later, Justin reportedly dismissed her concerns, claiming he wasn't even attracted to her. Yeah, that'll do it, man. The remarks he made when she was postpartum. Blake Lively also accuses Justin of making remarks about her size shortly after she had given birth to her fourth child. The lawsuit states that just weeks before filming, Justin contacted Blake's personal trainer without her knowledge. During this conversation, he allegedly implied that Blake needed to move a few sizes down the chart within 2 weeks, using a scene where he would need to lift her as justification. However, there was no such scene ever planned for the film. The situation worsened when Blake later contracted strep throat. According to her lawsuit, Justin suggested a health expert to help her recover, presenting it as a kind gesture. However, when Blake reviewed the privacy forms, she discovered that the expert was actually a size loss specialist, leading her to believe the suggestion was motivated by his ongoing focus on her appearance. Social media campaign to ruin her reputation. Blake's lawsuit also accuses Justin of orchestrating a deliberate campaign to harm harm her reputation through social media manipulation. The documents include thousands of text messages and emails obtained via subpoena, which allegedly revealed Justin's team collaborating with a management expert. One particularly alarming message involves a publicist discussing strategies to bury Blake's public image. Another aspect of this campaign allegedly involved astroturfing, a tactic where fake opinions are posted online to appear as though they came from real users. Justin also reportedly referred to online posts targeting other celebrities as inspiration for his campaign. In one instance, he referenced a thread accusing Hailey Bieber of being mean, describing it as the kind of narrative he wanted to achieve. Additionally, his team allegedly discussed using feminism as a tool, citing Taylor Swift as an example in their strategy. Amid this fallout, Justin is said to have altered his social media approach after the firm's premiere, shifting focus towards survivor advocacy and other themes relating to the movie content to rehabilitate his image. His team reportedly advised against such an abrupt change in strategy, but Justin insisted on continuing with the new narrative, claiming contact with Blake's late father. This one is wild. Blake Lively alleges that Justin Baldoni engaged in behavior she couldn't even believe, including claims that he could communicate with her late father. Justin allegedly told her on multiple occasions that he had spoken with her father, Ernie Blake, who passed away in June 2021. According to the complaint, Blake found these statements deeply invasive, particularly given the personal nature of the loss. Excessive physical contact on set. The lawsuit states that both Justin and producer Jamie Heath frequently hugged or touched cast or crew members. Blake claims that when she or others avoided these interactions, the two men would respond with irritation or hostility. The result was described as an unpredictable and unwelcoming environment that made collaboration difficult for Blake and her team. Comments on women's appearance. Blake alleges that Justin regularly referred to women in the workplace by certain adjectives, brushing off their discomfort with dismissive remarks. In one instance, he complimented a female cast member's leather pants as looking beyond nice. And when she objected, he excused the behavior by saying, "I can say that because my wife is here." Is Justin sane? Blake herself experienced similar comments. While wearing a low-cut dress under a coat for easily being able to feed her child, Justin allegedly pressured her to remove the coat on set, saying he wanted to see her outfit. According to Blake, when she refused, Justin described her appearance as good-looking and later sarcastically remarked, "I guess I missed the HR meeting." Other female cast members reportedly shared similar experiences of unwanted remarks from Justin. Another complaint. The lawsuit cites additional complaints against Justin from other cast members. On May 29, 2023, one actress reportedly filed a formal complaint about Justin's gross and unwanted comments. Earlier in the production, another actress raised concerns about his remarks on her appearance. While Justin initially acknowledged her concerns, Blake claims that the actress later confided in her, saying that she could no longer engage with him outside of scenes. Impact on Blake's family. Blake's legal documents describe the toll Justin's alleged behavior has taken on her husband, Ryan Reynolds, and their children. Blake reportedly had plenty of feelings that affected her ability to function in her personal and professional life. Her family, including her children, allegedly experienced significant upheaval due to the surrounding situation. Professional and financial damages. Blake claims that the whole thing led to substantial professional setbacks. She withdrew from hosting the highly anticipated Saturday Night Live season 50 premiere and canceled key events, including a corporate engagement for her hair care line, Blake Brown Beauty. The lawsuit also alleges significant financial losses for her businesses. Initially, Blake Brown was reportedly Target's most successful hair care launch, but the social manipulation campaign allegedly caused sales to plummet by 56% to 78%. Additionally, Blake's other brands, Betty Buzz and Betty Booze, faced online trolling, forcing them to pause social media activity, which negatively impacted their business operations, as you can imagine.
Made a list of 30 strict rules and demands to directors and co-star Justin Baldoni on the set of It Ends With Us. And here are just some of the rules. I had to omit a lot of them and alter the wording since they were pretty wild and not suitable for everyone. So Blake Lively had this rule that said that there shall be no more showing of adult-natured videos or images of women to Blake Lively and or her team. And there's so many other rules like this. Like, there should be no more mention of Justin Baldoni or Jamie Heath's adult-related content consumption levels or Blake Lively's lack of adult-related content consumption. No more discussions to Blake Lively and or her employees about personal experiences with having adult relations, including as it relates to spouses or others. No more descriptions of certain body parts to Blake Lively. No more jokes or disparaging comments to be made to Blake Lively and or her employees about HR complaints Wayfair has already received on set or about missing the HR meeting. No more inquiries by Justin Baldoni to Blake Lively's trainer without her knowledge of consent to disclose how many pounds that she is. Also, there shall be no more mention by Justin Baldoni of him speaking to Blake Lively's father, who was no longer alive. Yeah, that was pretty weird. He claimed to be speaking to Blake Lively's father, who had passed away already. Either way, let's continue with the rules. There shall be no more pressing by Justin Baldoni for Blake Lively to disclose her religious beliefs or unsolicited sharing of his. An intimacy coordinator must be present at all times when Blake Lively is on set in scenes with Justin Baldoni. No more personal, touching, or creepy comments by Justin Baldoni or James Heath to be tolerated by Blake Lively and or any of her employees, as well as any female cast or crew without express consent. No more improvising of makeout scenes. All touch related to these scenes must be choreographed in advance with Blake Lively and an intimacy coordinator. No biting or sucking of lip without Blake Lively's consent. All romantic on-camera touch and conversation must be in character, not spoken from Justin Baldoni to Blake Lively personally. So guys, this is wild. This would mean that Justin Baldoni, he was actually taking a lot of liberty with Blake Lively on set, you know, maybe making moves at her. But there are a lot of reports when Blake Lively would hit back, they're saying that he just responded saying like, I'm not even attracted to you, you know, just kind of brushed her off, I guess to kind of excuse his actions and antics on set. But yeah, there's a ton of more rules. Let's keep going. Blake Lively has to have representative on set at all times and with a monitor during scenes involving not being dressed and activities relating to that, or certain physical actions with Justin Baldoni. All actors participating with Blake Lively in certain scenes involving her being in any state of being without any clothing or simulated non-clothing scenes must be classified as active working actors, not friends of the director or producers, and must be pre-approved by Blake Lively. No more filming of any Blake Lively without anything on, without a full executed SAG complaint writer in place. Any such footage already shot without this in place and indirect violation of SAG requirements may not be used without Blake Lively's and her legal representatives' prior written consent. No monitors to be viewed or accessible on set or remotely during closed set scenes, except by Blake Lively approved essential crew and personnel. No more entering, attempting to enter, interrupting, pressuring, or asking Blake Lively to enter her trailer or the makeup trailer by James Heath or Justin Baldoni while she is not in a state of being clothed for any reason. No more private multi-hour meetings in Blake Lively's trailer with Justin Baldoni crying with no outside Blake Lively appointed representative to monitor. No more pressing by Justin Baldoni to sage any of Blake Lively's employees. Wow, guys, this just gets weirder and creepier as it goes on. So Justin Baldoni, like, he thought he was some Casanova guy, really just like barging into her dressing room just like that, just because he just thought he had the right to do that. Just imagine how uncomfortable Blake Lively would have felt if these claims are true. Like, for her to actually list these strict rules and make these demands, yeah, something would have to have happened. All right, just a few more, guys. Stay with me. Engagement of a Blake Lively approved A-list stunt double to perform Lily in scenes with Justin Baldoni involving anything graphic. Blake Lively to perform only close-up work or work from a Blake Lively pre-approved shot list in scenes with Justin Baldoni involving acts that happen without consent. So yeah, she's really strict. She wants to stay on top of how close she actually gets with Justin, like in real life. Of course, yeah, in movies they use stunt doubles and body doubles, and they utilize close-up shots, far-away shots, just to give the illusion that certain things are happening. And looks like Blake Lively just wanted to be on top of that because she was really uncomfortable in his presence. No more adding of adult-related scenes by Blake Lively outside the scope of the script Blake Lively approved when signing on to the project. No more asking or pressuring Blake Lively to cross physical picket lines. And finally, the last rule I'll share is no more retaliatory behavior to Blake Lively for raising concerns or requesting safeguards. Wow, guys. So Justin Baldoni would literally try to extend the intimate scenes with Blake Lively, like again and again, and try to add in scenes and make stuff up just so that he can be in those scenes with her for longer periods of time. That is wild. These rules, by the way, were revealed after Blake Lively filed complaints against Justin Baldoni, alleging that he did stuff to her that he wasn't supposed to, as well as he orchestrated a social media campaign against her to end her reputation. The lawsuit included texts between Justin Baldoni's team that he allegedly hired to carry out the campaign, which stated that Justin Baldoni wants to feel like Blake Lively can be buried. So he wanted his team to do such a good job that, yeah, Blake Lively could not escape what was coming after her. So guys, what do you think about this? You know, Brian Friedman, who's a lawyer for Justin Baldoni and his production team, Wayfarer Studios, they hit back. They're completely denying the claims. They're saying that they are categorically false accusations. But after hearing these rules that Blake Lively had, again, I had to omit some of them and change up a lot of the wording. Like, what do you think? Was Justin Baldoni really taking too much liberty with Blake? Was he going too far? Or do you think that she's just overacting, making this stuff up? What do you really think, guys? I'm curious to know. Thanks for hanging out with me in this one, and I'll catch you beautiful people next time.